All right, let's get to this last segment about DMT bros. I am curious about this. However, there are things to make fun of, as we do. For example, this guy, this jujitsu master, I think that's considered dreadlocks. There's tapping into the universal consciousness, the cup of consciousness analogy, end of spiritual childhood. Let's start in the DMT stuff. That's what we're here for. So let's start there.
Back then when you reached out to me,
So this guy,
I ordered the laser. I saw the code. I never reached out to you, but I started basically talking about it in my circles.
this is when you smoke DMT and you see the code. Apparently, it's a code it's an alien code that anyone who
Takes DMT can see.
is on the wavelength, bro, can see that shit.
Do they all see the same code?
Let's
because I
figure
have
it
a
out
certain
together.
reputation, people listen to me. He said when I would go to these conferences, I would when we're at the end of whatever, conference we are, I would whip out the laser and start showing them. And I said, wait, what were you showing them? It's like, well, here's the thing. I have a certain kind of reputation. So this was a prop. I was removing one more step for them to venture into. So instead of me telling them there's this laser, I'm like, oh, here's the laser. And I would just turn it on. It's just a simple diffracted laser. But I was telling them, I've tried this. I've seen the code and I'm explaining where you would see it. And people got so interested because they are looking for this next step of understanding. So David recently told me that I haven't seen it myself yet, but he is, there's a certain, reputation that he has with being accurate with what he's saying.
He hasn't seen the code yet.
He thinks they figured out a way to see some visibility of the code with these old sensors of Sony cameras that had this night capability. And if we string a bunch of them together, I think we'll be able to see it much more coherently. Now, if it's true, that will automatically change
the
conversation entirely.
The question is general, right? I think in any other species exist in this universe, will have the same questions. The same exact questions. It doesn't matter that you grew up in a different solar system, in different... The which is experience life. Go live, experience, and...
Why does it appear as a language?
Bro, so
Okay,
it's all a simulation. It's all a simulation. Then why does my simulation suck?
I don't know if they're making a simulation argument, are they?
Well, it says in the title there's simulation. The aliens are
All right.
simulating our reality.
My question is more about the aesthetic of the clothes that they're wearing, the beaded jewelry, and it's very spiritual.
Was it called Psychonauts, right?
I don't
feel
have
like
any
that's
feelings, I guess, but
wasn't
why do you have to
like
wear a
aesthetics.
certain
It wasn't like a
style of
laser was
clothes
on
to
and
be
it moved.
spiritual, I guess is what I'm trying to ask here.
It's Star Wars meets Lord of the
For
Rings.
years. You have to
You're
have a certain...
kind of on that
person who
wavelength.
discovered-
You like to have your balls free.
I know, but I'm not wearing beads and I'm not dreadlocking and I'm not chastising this guy for doing that.
I am.
It works for him. I'm just saying
I don't think so.
what I'm suggesting is if I was this based and aware of alien code and I was smoking DMT as part of a
Maybe you
scientific...
wouldn't dress like a douche.
Well, can I take part in this culture without dressing a certain way?
I don't know how it works in these
You walk
at
through
these
the-
kind of
you try to walk through the
shindigs,
wall,
but I'm
you
pretty
ain't
sure
doing it.
the same
That is an important
overall
point.
monkey brain thinking happens where it's like, ooga, ooga, ooga.
What
You
is-
look like me. I look like you. We're same tribe. So I'm pretty sure
is that?
if
Why
you didn't
is
wear your little tunic,
Yeah.
your little rough spun tunic, they're going to think you're a poser.
that
or like a
that
techie.
way? So ultimately, to me,
You
the
could get away with
encouragement again
techie.
is to just broaden the spectrum
say
of
you're doing a
entertainment
startup.
of how many things we entertain
all
and
the
we
hippie
want to
bitch
include in the ontology that we're
God.
building
Yeah.
on, without getting lost.
All the
It's a
hairy.
fine
No,
line. I'm trying to
stop.
push the ontology just slightly out.
You got kicked out, you hit that cartridge, you can't get back in. And it was kind of like
I
what
started
what-
talking
what
about
Paul
hairy cooch. Bro, start skipping through the fucking YouTube.
was a
Kicked
balloon
out of the
kind of
DMT
head
space
with a
by a
robe.
being.
They shave with some kind of...
Oh, that's what he's talking about.
Bro, so even in your wild high dreams, people don't fuck with you. The alien kicked them out of the space. They were like, "Bro, you suck. Get out of
I
get
get
out of DMT."
We don't like the dreads. We come back with a new haircut and then we'll talk.
They're sorry, we can't let you in.
Okay, this is interesting. What near-death experiences in DMT have in common? It's cool.
And he had a open heart surgery.
I mean, that's what
And he
how
was
you
very-
produce the chemical.
Right.
He-
Would
Wait,
you do
this-
DMT?
Yeah.
Have you done DMT?
No.
I don't want it.
Why?
Too much.
You don't want to see the alien code?
No, I mean, I did salvia and I didn't like that.
Yeah, but you did it in college.
So
We're stronger mentally. We've grown. You're not the same button you were when you were 18.
No, but I don't think I'm that much intrinsically different. Sure, I have more life experience, but I'm pretty much the same human, and I did not like it.
I've heard DMT rules.
I don't want
This
it.
is
It's
the
too
guy.
much.
This is the one
That's fair.
consciousness.
I don't
upper
even
management.
like microdosing. Sometimes.
No,
It's
this
too
is the
much.
this
I
is the
don't want
owner.
my brain to leave my skull. I don't want to go to another realm, bitch. I want to sit on the couch and be comfortable.
You want to be grounded in your body. You want to feel in your body.
I would way rather do a downer. Like, let me just like feel warm and not anxious. It's too anxiety inducing.
I understand.
Here,
I've
I
never
take-
done it, so I can't say one way or another.
This is the
It's one of
boss.
those things where people say it'll find you when it's time.
Asking for help from DMT creatures?
Where is verifiable to me that I felt it. I felt how I kind of relaxed, and I'm like, wow, and the anxiety leaving me. So and
Good.
I can cut ahead of the story that after this whole anxiety and anger just went away. So and
Well, that's good.
That's nice. Good for
these
you.
are almost like non-figurative or like what would be the word for
They
it?
don't have a form.
What if the dwarves in the gears
Mm-hmm.
that people see?
Mm-hmm.
What if like we did DMT and we saw the dwarves and we're like, oh my god, it's just head PE.
Take me out to the field and put me down.
formless.
They're
Just I
formless.
just thought I just feel the energy, and there are thousands of them in there just whirling, and they're like in this state of ecstasy, of almost like they realize that we exist and how amazing that is. And so generally that's my process. I go to the NN space.
With a
So the dwarf alien, whatever they are, when we enter the DMT space, they realize we exist and they're like, that's what I'm getting from that.
Like, they didn't know that I was there till I get there. They're like, oh!
First,
They're like, buttons, buttons. What if it was just 500 faces with giant tongues and they all said at the same time, buttons, buttons?
Fuck right off.
Would
No.
that be too much?
Too fucking much, man. I'm fighting all 500 of them.
No, you're not.
Stop.
the first hit is always,
No, that's weird.
am
They're gonna
I
eat me.
clear to go?
Am I clear to go? That's
Meaning,
the hit.
you know, it's like, Houston, all systems are good. Are we angry? Are we distracted? Are we cool? Am I sharp? Am
You know
I
who-
focused?
you know
This
who
has to
guy's
be the
reminding
first.
me of?
I want to know everything.
A certain massage therapist.
Mm.
A certain massage therapist that said maybe all of your like physical ailments were like actually just like
In my head, and I should go to the desert and like find another Hungarian hippie with dreads to lead me to the promised
Mhm.
land. This
Yeah.
guy escaped Hungary, by the way, which is why I gave him a pass for his dreads.
So I'm not distracted. If I'm distracted
Yeah,
with
I
something,
sure did.
then I
noodles
stay in
all
this
over
space.
my
I will not
tits.
take a second hit.
okay.
I will stay there. And then I simply can find this place and I go there and I just exist and
You
there is
chill?
this ecstasy sort of feeling.
That sounds awesome.
So I would, and I know this place. I go if my system check is not coming back clear, there's an
okay.
Affobat or Chocolabat, which
Hmm.
I had like, because I have to look at
That's his
everything that
chuckle.
ever happened to me, everything that ever taught to me and told me.
Experiments to help you break out of the matrix. Let's
Occurs
go.
exactly how you wanted it to happen. You don't necessarily know how you're moving your hand or moving your body, or you just kind of accept it to be true. But what actually happened when you wanted to go to the bank is that you had all these ideas about going there, and then you had an impulse, and you stayed with that impulse. The point is that when you start communicating to yourself across time this way, quote unquote, you're starting showing, wait, can I do this
Can I
with
time travel?
a thing
bro?
that I don't necessarily expect to happen?
Can I
This is where you start playing with it. This is what I mean.
can I time travel, bro?
Can I make myself nut without touching? Sorry. Everybody's like,
That you're
wow,
supposed
man,
to
your
be
mind can
expanding the
you can
amount
do
of
anything with your
miracles
mind and
or,
your body and you can
uh,
time travel. And I'm
synchronicities
like,
that
can I
can
make
happen to you?
myself
You can
nut
test
without
this.
touching
So
me?
then
That's
you
my
go,
first
okay,
thought.
next time I go
Sick.
to the
Can I
bank,
nut without
I'm gonna
touching it?
imagine, I'm going to do the same.
Can
but
I
I'm
say
also
you
gonna-
delivered very insightful commentary on this segment?
envision something?
Hey guys, if they put me on the podcast, I'm just coming in there. If I do a DMT, can I make myself nut without touching myself like ever again? 'Cause that'd be sick.
You're not
I
wrong.
mean,
It might not happen. Like,
I think there's other things I would choose above that. I'd prefer to fly. I'd prefer to breathe underwater.
you're doing too much, kid. Nutting without touching is the best that anybody's ever gonna get in humanity. Flying, underwater breathing? No. You're doing the superpower thing all wrong, buddy.
if you show up to the bank and somebody has even clothes, something pink, distinctly pink on
Yeah.
their head, go, oh,
I'm in the matrix. now.
interesting. Thank you for delivering me here safely. Also, yes, interesting. And then you start playing with it. Okay,
I'm just gonna start
how
giving
far?
thumbs
start-
up to people like
Yeah,
that when I see
yeah.
them.
Then start playing with this weird middle-aged man's mind. Start playing games with his
Can I
man's
take this?
mind at the bank ATM.
I'm going to the bank.
Start
I'm
playing
gonna
games with his mind at the ATM.
meet somebody on the way, and I'm gonna have some kind of a big life change. And you start believing in it because you're like, yeah, well, dude, that was crazy. Like, why would they have a pink thing on their head?
Yeah.
And now you start playing with it. Try this.
Yes.
Right.
Try
That's-
this.
And then you
And
start playing with each other, and then you're jerking off a random guy at an
Bro was
ATM.
literally just talking about manifestation.
anybody
the
can try
Matrix.
this. Testing the Matrix.
I had
right?
this dude on here, Eric Wargo, who wrote a book called Time Loops. Have you heard of it?
No.
Fascinating book he wrote about basically the idea of
That guy's the
how
last person I
time
want
is.
to see while I'm doing DMT.
This guy?
Yeah, I don't.
You don't trust him explaining concepts, high-level concepts, high IQ concepts?
I just don't want to run into him. It's gonna give me a bad trip.
Danny Jones seems like a nice enough bloke.
I didn't say he wasn't nice enough. I'm just saying I don't want to look at him.
But look at the weird alien code shit in the background.
yeah, I don't like that either.
Okay.
Like a loop, and what he started doing was he started recording his dreams down, and then shit that was happening in his dreams was happening in his future, right?
Whoa.
So like,
Whoa.
and then
Well, that's pretty universal.
Yeah, that happened.
It's happened to me.
I'm not a psychonaut. I'm not trying to take a bunch of acid and like mushrooms and be like figure out the new dimension. Like I'm not trying to travel to a new dimension. I've done that. I've done it when I was younger.
Okay.
I'll microdose, but I actually want like a very mellow like heart. I want to feel grounded.
So this guy, that guy we were just listening to, not
Yeah.
Zoltan, the other guy, Dan.
His name is Zoltan.
The braided Jed guy, was the Hungarian.
That's his
gentleman.
Hungarian name, or is that his hippie name?
I don't fucking know. You'll have to ask Zoltan. Anyways, Dan has his own channel on YouTube called Dan Go Thoughts, and this episode, it's called "I Can See the Invisible."
It's literally a map of the universe from a quantum scale all the way, a map from a micro to a macro, right?
Okay.
All the pieces are there. When I'm working in this space, sometimes beings will show up to mess with me, to distract me. Now, my mind is like, why do you just leave me alone, right? I'm doing the math. I'm looking at the topological space. I'm folding or whatever I'm doing, and they try.
He's looking at the topological space buttons, and these fucking dwarves are like trying to fuck with his steez, his
Bro,
stilo. if
These
you will.
guys are my nightmare blunt rotation.
to distract me. Now, in the beginning, I was like, this is just weird, right? Now
No,
it's like,
this
well,
is not nightmare.
do
Are you
they-
ready? No, you don't think that. You would way rather hang out with this guy than Dinesh D'Souza or fucking Charlie Kirk or something.
No, that would be pretty funny. Those guys are terrible, but it'd be way funnier.
Yeah, but this guy's good. He can see fucking invisible shit.
He thinks he can.
That's fun. You don't think that's fun at a dinner party?
No, that shit's annoying.
not want
Jeez.
us to know what's there?
You want to talk to this guy? He's too wing nutty, man. Next thing you know, he's going to be telling you to sun your butthole and drink your piss, man.
So you can hold it for 10, 20, 30, 40
I like how I like that. Do you like that?
seconds, and that's a long
No.
right? Definitely can't
You're
hold it
saying
longer
that
than
this isn't my nightmare blunt rotation, but what you mean to say is it's not your nightmare blunt rotation. And that you wouldn't mind these guys yapping your ear off. Me? I do not want, I'm like,
You know how I was talking about the clothing?
Mhm.
I want to talk about another thing, another aspect of the New Age community that I feel like needs to evolve with the science that he's suggesting. Look at the art, man.
I was gonna say, is it that art? What's that name of that one artist?
And this fucking like, look at this shit. I'm just saying, if you're trying to tout yourself as this advanced futurist, like a futurist
Yeah.
that is analyzing the world through quantum physics and universe is a hologram and all this kind of stuff.
Then why are you dressed like a fucking wizard?
That might be an aspect, but I care a lot less about that than I do about the thumbnails. I
Yeah,
have to be honest with you.
What's the name of the artist that does all of the penis art? Your friend,
Yeah.
Your friend has a lot of his art in his home, and I'm like, I saw one of the pieces.
I know the penis
This
fits.
fits. And I was like, oh man, it's like one of those things where it's like a light mushroom blossoming inside of a woman's vagina that turns into a mandala of fucking.
Yeah,
What's the name of that artist?
Alex Gray.
Bro, I'm sure when that dude first like made his first piece, everybody was like,
He knows the
Penis
penis
fits.
fits.
Check the
So,
observer.
I just have a big problem with the aesthetics, and I feel like
yeah, New Age aesthetics have not moved with the times.
not through the mainstream.
They're still using papyrus font, okay?
That's what
babes?
I'm saying. They're still in this weird.
90s granola vibe.
Yeah, exactly. That's such a good way of minimizing it too. What percentage of these interviewees do you think are full of shit without any sarcasm or facetiousness?
I think that they all probably have a decent vocabulary. I feel like they're knowledgeable.
Wait, but are you not buying that? Like, if you smoke DMT, you would see the alien cut. Like, there's a He's probably right about that.
I don't.
It kind of feels intuitively true. It rings true. I can't prove that. It's just I'm going on gut. What don't you vibe about it?
I don't like white men that take drugs and have ego deaths. That's what I'm on. I'm just saying I don't trust those types.
Oh, he's a filmmaker who lives in L.A.
Good for him.
He's from Moscow, Russia. Lived in Israel 17 years.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Well, what did I just say?
He spent his youth
What did I fucking
being very
say?
active, mostly in martial arts and rollerblading on half pipes. Uh-oh, is it all falling apart?
You're trying to tell
Is
me like
everything
this guy
falling
may not
apart?
be a total piece of shit. I'm
Is
like,
this guy
yep. What? Oh, look, and there's Joe fucking Rogan.
the Lazarus initiative?
Question is the concept of
Oh,
living
no.
in a
This guy looks like a
simulation.
total douchebag.
What are the potential
no.
social
Sorry, I
impacts
gotta
or
move on.
civilizational, cultural
Nice.
impact of the simulation theory, if your simulation
Yeah.
theory
Here's
gains
another thing, I'll pause
widespread
it right now.
acceptance? You've obviously thought
Do you
about
want to know why I have these feelings?
Help me
Because
out
people,
here.
when they say things like, oh, you live in a simulation, you could just manifest things, what they're doing is excusing
Yeah.
the evil and the ugliness in the world because it's not real. It's a simulation. And if you just
Mhm.
aligned your butthole chakras
Right.
and you had thought positive thoughts, you could get your way out of these situations. But in the reality, there is death and destruction and people suffering.
Yeah, and
So
also
it's a very white guy thing to just like, it's toxic positivity.
Right.
It's weird new age culture that absolves yourself of worrying about things like racism.
I want to point out an aesthetic thing I don't like. SYMXL2. What is this? A fucking cult?
It's boring.
Segment 2, the discovery, cracking the simulation code. There's something about that rubs me really the wrong way.
Yeah.
Very much the wrong way.
Are you starting to see why I feel the way I do?
Yeah, but I of course.
You're too Libra. You're like, but
No,
maybe
no,
no.
no, it's not. I'm so with you on the aesthetics.
Okay.
Right? We are 100% on the same
But you're not
team.
on the personality. And I think that these people are. I don't get a good vibe from them. That's why they're my nightmare blunt rotation. I don't feel like they're good people.
Okay, see, I am not assuming good or bad per se. I'm trying to analyze it from is this guy right that when he smokes DMT, like he's fucking seeing an alien race that's knows we're here and they're communicating with us, and it's this like, and then there's like the fucking dwarves and the cogs and the machine, or because of the fact that people have been talking about it through social contagion. That might be, it's like you're projecting the fact that you've heard that story so many times.
I don't think that's
What-
true. I think that when you take hallucinogens, it
Okay.
puts you into a different zone and a different
Okay.
realm. And I think that you do see and experience different things, right?
He says it's as real as like a table,
Sure.
the machine or whatever.
Obviously, I can neither prove nor disprove
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
aspect of it.
Yeah.
I do think that there is a reason why it connects people and it brings you this like it is a good reset, right? I'm just saying, look how much drugs Elon Musk has taken and eaten, and I don't think he's.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
You're onto something, but you're 70% right. Let me point out, the first thing is that this guy is ripping off Lex Friedman's aesthetics.
Mhm,
This thing is ripped off from Lex. I can tell right away.
mhm.
I mean,
He literally is.
so there's that. And then 2, you are correct in your intuition that he's likely met Elon Musk, done research, blah, blah, blah. This guy and both Elon Musk know Lex Friedman. That's at the very least their go-between guy,
Yeah, and they think that there's
Joe Rogan
everything's
as well.
a simulation. It's a video game you're playing, and
which is a big Elon Musk thing. You're right about that
that's
too.
why that's why I say
You're right about
what-
all that stuff, but I don't know if the white part.
it is because white men that do this.
Yeah.
You know what it is? It's because it's colonizer bullshit. They're colonizing the drugs that are supposed to actually bring everybody together.
Okay.
And they're like, I cracked the code.
Okay.
And they think that they cracked the code so hard that then they're making a platform dedicated to speaking on it like they are knowledgeable or they're like the ones sharing this knowledge.
Is he
when it's-
is he just a filmmaker? Am I being fooled?
Yes.
He's not a PhD, maybe?
You
He's
could have
not
a PhD in film, maybe.
I don't know.
He's full of shit. He's a
Oh, yeah.
white guy. He's a white guy colonizing fucking drugs.
He made a groundbreaking discovery through extensive exploration, meticulous observation, and thorough research. That doesn't explain anything.
Exactly. He's colonizing. That's the white man aspect of it. The white man
okay.
came in.
Yeah.
The white man came in.
Okay.
He ate some drugs. And then he's
Okay.
trying to fucking mansplain
Right.
manifestation
Yeah.
and basic fucking empathy to me.
Right.
But he lived in Israel for 17 years.
Yeah, okay. So by utilizing a
And wears stupid ass wizard clothes.
Right. Okay, so by utilizing a diffracted red laser in conjunction with the influence of DMT, a growing community of over 180 individuals worldwide. It says has now, but I think it's have now. Just want to point that out.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a little dubious of a scientist.
Oh, so now maybe you're seeing the cracks.
I'm seeing the cracks. I know. I'm comedically playing devil's advocate.
No, you need to get on my goddamn side and take this demon down
you're
with
so
me.
authoritarian that you can't see my comedy stylings right in front of your giant eyeballs.
No, because I want you to take up arms, Sam. Take up arms.